Hey, welcome to Running My Journey. On this episode, find out who is Dan. That's me from Spare Tire Running, and how was Spare Tire Running created? All right, this is our first episode. I cannot believe it. We're recording on podcast here and also live video for YouTube. So we want to thank you guys for listening or watching, whatever floats your boat. Who am I? Who am I? I'm a guy, right? I'm a big guy, as you can see if you're watching on YouTube. But I also love running. I love getting on those trails and just finding peace and thinking about all the stuff that's going on in my life and letting it go and just really dedicate time. But who am I? Where did I start from? I was not always this big at all, guys. If you won't even believe me, my freshman year in high school, way back when, I was 98 pounds. I was a wrestler. I also ran cross country and track in high school, but wrestling was my true love, and wrestling was the sport that I thought I was going to always be doing. And it is a sport that has a lot of meaning to my life, and done a lot of great things in the sport of wrestling. But cross country and track were just ways to stay in shape. Even though we were a good cross country team, a good track team, it was really I was average, maybe below average a little bit. Nothing real too fast, but over time I came to love running. I love wrestling. See, I'm going to say that a lot. That I love wrestling because I do. I do still love wrestling, even though I coach basketball now. Um, so senior year in high school, I was 125 pounds. And then throughout this journey of my running, you'll find out how I became a big guy, and it's going to come up with here about when we talk about spare tire running. So I went to college, wrestled in college, met my wife in college. We got married. We've been blessedly married for over 20 years now. We have two amazing kids. One is a senior in high school right now. I can't believe that. And then one's in eighth grade, about to go to high school. Both of my boys are just like me in so many ways, and totally different than me in so many ways. But I enjoy my time with both my boys. I enjoyed my time with my wife. We like to just chill out, watch Netflix, and not go out much. We're not a bar scene type of family. We don't go to parties or anything. We rather just to sit on the couch, have a glass of wine or a beer, and watch whatever Dead to Me. I think that's the latest episode shows that we've been watching. In my daytime, I'm a principal of a school. I coach basketball right now. Been doing that for the last 4 years. I have coached wrestling at grade school level, at the high school level, at the college level. I have coached basketball at the grade school level and the high school level. I've been an athletic director, a teacher. Lived out in California for 7 years. What an amazing journey that was, and I'll bring that up in the future. But really, I wish I was into running then as I was now. So what happened? Why am I a big guy? Well, beer. Beer. That's one of the reasons. Two, my wife is an amazing cook. She has opened up my palate to many different foods that I never thought I would have liked. I was a very picky eater growing up. Give me a peanut butter jelly sandwich. I was happy with that for a whole day. Give me a little microwave pizza. I was happy. Give me just a milkshake. I was happy for the whole day. I really rarely didn't eat, which is why I was 98 pounds as a freshman and 125 pounds as a senior. What was funny, and I'll tell you this little story. My senior year, I was in pottery class for high school. That was one of my art credits that I took. my cross country coach was our art teacher too. So I did it because I liked the guy, and he was a great coach, great coach, great teacher too. One of my best teachers that I ever had. But we were doing I don't remember all the terms, but coil pots, pinch pots. I don't know. You had to take the clay and use your hands to roll it up to make a base, and then we made a lid on it and stuff, and then we glazed it and so forth. And so I was thinking about, what do I want to make? So I made a little pot that's on the top. In the middle, when you were looking at it from the front side, it said 125 pounds or 125, and then so on the back side, with the reverse, it was 251 or something like that. It looked like 251. So I came up with this story of why I made this pot, and so on the 125 pot side, I made this little stick figure guy, and then on the 250 side, I made this big fat stick figure guy. And I said, all right, this is me graduating high school, and then the 251 is going to be me graduating college. I do have to say I was not 250 when I graduated college. Didn't get up to that high until later in my life. I did graduate college. I was about 180 pounds. Graduated college. Again, I wrestled in college, so I was still in pretty good shape. I put on a lot of muscle throughout my years in college. I started off from going from 125 pounds my freshman year or my senior year in high school. I wrestled 141 my first year. I redshirted my freshman year in college, but then my second year I wrestled 141. So I put on, and that was pretty much all muscle, 20 pounds worth of muscle. So I was in good shape. Really, I was still short. I've been short my whole life. I was 5'10" now. Freshman year, I was 5 foot, and I grew like 8 inches my freshman year. I think I ended up at 5'8". But then I was 5'10", 140 pounds, and then I kept on getting on some muscle, and then I took a year off, and I actually transferred to schools. My family was moving from Michigan to California, and I wanted to be with my younger brother as he was adjusting to high school in a different state. And Tommy's been part of our Spare Tire family. And so I just wanted to be by him, be with him, even though I was dating my wife at the time. We just started dating when I decided to transfer out there for a year. I actually came back because of her too. I figured we better get married, or this long distance thing isn't going to work. So I transferred out there, and that's where I coached wrestling that year I was out there. The school I was at did not have a wrestling team, so I did find a local high school to coach at, and that opened up opportunities later down the road to coach at a amazing high school, wrestling for 3 years that I was in the California area when I started my teaching career. But I started to drink beer a little bit. You're at that age, or maybe younger. My roommate, I have so many stories, guys. It's amazing. My roommate was 32 years old. I was at the time 20 years old. He was 32. He had 2 teenage kids as himself, or maybe they were like 9, 10. He, at that point in time, he separated from his wife because of the girl he was dating, who was a lot younger than he was. He was a great guy, but a little bit different. And the college we were at was a wet campus. You were allowed to drink if everybody in your room was over 21. and so forth. So, and then beer, and then laziness. I really, besides coaching, I did not work out as much as I wanted to. But then that's not the end of the story. The end of the story comes up here. I moved back to Wisconsin. I wrestle 100. I weighed 180 pounds, but I wrestled 197. Bumped up to wrestle 197 because we had an amazing 180 pounder at our school. Took third in the conference. Nothing great. Again, always been just above average. Running, wrestling. I think I'm a better coach than I am an athlete, which I love coaching. I can coach almost any sport and be successful at. Not because I'm amazing athlete again. So fast forward, because we're getting kind of boring here. Fast forward to 10 years ago, pretty much almost 10 years ago to the date. I was fat. I was out of shape. I was, big, lazy, weighing in, and I'm going to be completely honest here. I was weighing in at about 280 pounds. I felt horrible. I looked disgusting. I was not happy with myself. And I had two young boys at home. And I had to make a change. I had to do something. And so I was talking with one of my friends, one of my best friends since kindergarten, who's also a big guy, and we're like, hey, let's sign up for a 5K. All right, at this point, I haven't ran a 5K, I don't know how long. I don't even was enjoying running at that time. And I said, okay, let's do it. And then we talked to one of our other high school friends into it who wasn't as big as us, but he was getting a dad bod in. And so we said, okay, let's do it. We signed up for this March St. Patrick's Day race, which becomes this course becomes our kind of our home course here for about 4 or 5 years. It was the same course. There was 3 races that ran the exact same courses throughout the year, so we kind of used that as our judge. And ran. It was freezing cold out, but I loved it. I'm like, all right, I can do this. I survived a 5K. I can do this. And so we signed up for another 5K and another one and another one and another one. And we decided that even early on before that, we're like, all right, we got to come up with a name. That's actually what came first. Let me get the story. If I'm going to tell the story, let me get the story straight first. So my buddy says, so let's run a 5K. And I said, okay, if we're going to run a 5K, we got to have a team name. We got to come up with something. And we always loved the joke about Dunlap. That my belt is Dunlap over my belly and so forth. So our original name actually was the Dunlap's Spare Tire Running Club. And I went online and searched up a running logo, like a tire running, because we're like, all right, spare tire, let's get a tire that has a face on it and so forth. And there was some free clip art logo that you can kind of see in some of my pictures. You'll be able to see that logo on there. If you go to our website, sparetirerunning.com, you can see the original logo, which was just it was just a tire with and so forth. And then we upgraded to this other one, and then just recently, a couple years ago, I actually paid for a professional. Professional. It was somebody off the internet to create me my logo for Spare Tire, so it's copyrighted, it's protected, it's mine. The one before this was a free clip art thing that you were allowed to use, but it was nothing. anybody could use it. Anybody had it. There was a tire store in our neighborhood that had the exact same picture on there. So what you see, if you go to our website now, that dude, the running dude, the Dunlop running dude, is our current logo. So we came up with the logo, we came up with the name, and then we ran. So we had shirts up, and then we kind of again we dropped the name Dunlap on there pretty quickly, and then just had Spare Tire Running Club on our shirts. And we got a lot of traction. A lot of people loved it. It's funny, bunch of big guys wearing Spare Tire Running shirts and running and so forth. Fast forward a little bit there, I continue to love running. I continue to my competitive nature kicked in, and not that I was going to win any races or even place in any race. I think officially in the 10 years since I've been running, I placed in my age group officially once for a medal. The rest of it has always been, I've been close a few times or way behind. Usually I'm in the back of the pack. Never finished last, but never finished first either yet. Maybe there'll be a day. If I can continue to run to when I'm 100 years old, I could outrun everybody in my age group. But I did continue to push myself, and I wanted to try other things. I wanted to try to challenge myself. Not that 5K wasn't challenging, because 5K was still challenging. I was still walking at times when I was running my 5K. I was slower than slow on there, but I still had this urge to push myself. So I started running 10Ks. At that race, that our home course, they had a 5K, a 10K, and you could sign up for both. So I was doing that. I was running a 15K there, and I just kept pushing myself. Even though I wasn't getting any faster yet, I was still challenging myself. And then about a few years ago, I decided to run a marathon. What a mistake that was. Not because I didn't do it. I did do it. I finished a marathon, the Detroit Free Press Marathon. I actually finished 2 marathons. That one, and the year after, I ran the Grand Rapids Marathon. I prepared for the Grand Rapids Marathon a lot better than I did for the Detroit Marathon. I still didn't do great in the Grand Rapids Marathon, but I was definitely in the best shape of my life, or my adult life then. Since then, I kind of had it down. I've been trying to keep it up. I'm like, all right, I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to run a 50K. I'm going to become an ultra marathoner. I'm watching all these videos. I'm enjoying my training, and then life happens, and life comes into play, and things don't go my way, and challenges come up, and there's been times in the past that my mind has not been strong enough. I'm thinking, I ran a marathon, but I can't get through this 1 mile time trial before I have to walk. So I've been put in a bad place, or I put myself in a bad place mentally. And then my stress was really high there for a long time, and I became, I ate a lot. I told my wife, I can remember telling my wife at one point, all right, either I'm going to eat my stress or drink my stress away. And I didn't want to be the drinking my stress away. I felt that eating my stress was a better solution than drinking my stress away. And in reality, neither are good choices, because all the weight I lost, I just gained right back. And before I knew it, I was up at 280 pounds again. And then I fought again and brought my weight back down. And then something happened. My brain just didn't work anymore. I couldn't fight mentally. I started stress eating again, and my weight gone back up. So I'm documenting this journey to try to hopefully be able to finally defeat the issues in my brain that is telling me I am weak. I'm hoping that if you are still listening to this, that you will come on my journey with me. And if you're on your own journey, that you fight for it and you do what you have to do to beat the mental games that we play on ourselves. So the future of this podcast is going to be all about stories about my life, about my running, and where am I going. I have kick-started the 2023 year early, started right after Thanksgiving. I'm like, all right, I got to eat on Thanksgiving, but I'm going to start my journey right then and there. And I do have to say, as we conclude today and say goodbyes and go out for a run here in a little bit, I can say that I've already lost 10 pounds since Thanksgiving. It's been this past 2 weeks have been a challenge to try to, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to eat. Then I get really hungry, and then I almost overeat. The other day, seriously, Thursday, I was so hungry. I had a stressful day, and we had a huge basketball game against a tough competition. And so I wasn't really eating much all day because I was stressing, and I was trying really hard not to overeat. And then get to the game. We started off bad, but then we won. So I'm super hungry, about to go to watch a basketball game at the high school, and my son's hungry too. So we stop, get some food, and of course, we don't have much time, so it's fast food. I stop at Arby's, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to get, like a chicken slider, two buffalo chicken sliders. Well, then my mouth just spews out a large Diet Coke, a small cinnamons, whatever, swirled shake, and so forth. And before I know it, I probably had about like 1,000 calories in my bag. And I almost fell into temptation and drank that entire milkshake, but I didn't. I stopped myself. I had a little bit, and then I stopped myself. And that's what I think I got to do. I gotta fight it, because my brain wants to defeat me, and I gotta overcome that and let my will really win on that. And then last night, again, not a lot of time. I had a soccer game. I play soccer. I'll tell you about that too. And so we met with my son and my wife. We met together at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I was good. I was like, all right, I'm just going to get the brisket tacos. I'm not getting the 20 wings, and so forth. And of course, the brisket tacos come with fries, and I'm like, so I had a couple fries, and then I had to stop myself and fight for myself, and stop. And then it comes with 3 brisket tacos. I'm like, all right, I'm only going to eat 2 of them. I'm going to take 1 home, and then that can be my lunch for today. So that's going to be today. My lunch today is going to be the leftover of the brisket tacos. So you come on journey with me. Come with me. These are going to be hopefully shorter podcast episodes, just telling you stories, just talking with you. Hopefully we'll be able to get some guests on and maybe talk with people. But this is really, really me documenting for you and for myself, hold myself accountable. But I feel like that if I do this, you guys are going to hold me accountable, and I want you guys to hold me accountable on that. You can go to sparetirerunning.com for our website. I'm on Twitter. Instagram is probably the biggest place, or the easiest way to get a hold of me too. I'm at spare_tire_running. Twitter is at sparetirerun. I do have a Patreon, and then of course at YouTube at sparetirerunning. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and as you get to know me, you'll get to know my personality, my humor, and everything else. The next episode that hopefully will be coming out. I want to do these weekly, maybe every other week. Where I gotta figure that out still. I'm so new at this, but I want to go over my 2023 goals with you. I have 5 goals that I set up, and I think they're realistic goals that are measurable and that I can meet. In the past, I have met or set some goals that there's no way I'm going to be able to meet it, and then we'll talk about that next time. So, again, thank you for listening. I am Dan from Spare Tire Running, and it's been a joy that you are on this journey as I'm running my journey. Have a great night, guys.